Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
Hey, a lot of times the narrative kind of writes itself, and that's where we're at today. I wish I could welcome you to a Friday edition. Hey, the Young and Norvelle Show. We do it 4 to 6 today. We'll start wrapping up this week, get you set for the weekend. I would like to do all that here on Action Sports Jax with a happy note, but man, I don't have it. I do not have it. Ugly back-to-back performances by the Gators softball team yesterday, and today a miserable performance, a sleepwalking, just get your ass kicked performance by the Gators baseball team. It was not close. You probably knew last night Florida loses in softball to the Texas Longhorns 3-0, 3 solo home runs. The Gators just couldn't get a big hit when it mattered. They at least competed. Florida baseball today, noon first pitch in Conway. The Gators opened up the regional and basically the college baseball regional across the country. Florida, the first game, 12 o'clock first pitch, and the Gators baseball team, they were never in it. Absolutely never in it. From the opening bunt for a single, everything went downhill. We welcome you to a Friday edition. We'll talk a lot of college baseball today. I will tell you this. The other game that we have interest in around here, the most interest, Florida State and Bethune-Cookman, currently tied at 2 in the bottom of the third in a delay. There has been a lot of weather issues across the southeast, really causing problems. We've got some finals. We've got some games in progress. We'll track them all. But Florida loses today 11-6, a game that was not anywhere near that close. Gators softball lost yesterday. They play for their elimination lives tonight at 7 o'clock against Tennessee. Georgia is also was in a rain delay. Rain in Athens. It looks like they have started that game. Bottom of the first, and Georgia has jumped all over Binghamton. 5-0 right now, bottom of first, Georgia leading. So they at least have gotten that game started. We'll follow a lot of scores. Miami in the bottom of the first leads the Alabama Crimson Tide in baseball 3-0. We'll track that game as well. There's a lot of interest in that. So a lot of college baseball to cover. Some results are in from earlier today. Games are going on. Games are delayed. And then we've got a full slate. We hope that we can get in night baseball in NCAA regional action. Softball a little bit ahead, and of course they're already in their College World Series. Florida again trying to stay alive tonight. Loser leave town, loser leave the season tonight. Florida and Tennessee. With that, we welcome Casey Kurtz, my main man. Casey, did you happen to catch any Gator baseball today?
I saw a little bit in between shows from this morning to now. When I got home, they were getting destroyed. They hit 2 home runs. I was like, they're back, and then they weren't back.
Yeah, they were back. 11-6, and some fans, Casey, may be saying, well, that's not terrible, you know. Well, no. It was 9-0.
Yep.
It was 9-0 at one point. Florida hit a couple of solo home runs. They couldn't get anything going. That summed up the day. They hit 2 home runs in 1 inning, and they're both solo. Nobody's on base.
Yeah.
Nobody's on base.
Now, I will say, though, the home run in the 9th inning, that did not matter at all.
Yeah.
I just was watching the sports office with Brent. That ball's crushed.
Yeah, Bozer hit one at the end.
That ball was – it doesn't count for anything extra, but that ball was annihilated.
Yeah. And maybe you leave on a little bit of a positive note because they got the little lefty for East Carolina. We knew Norby was good. He was your typical 5'10", squatty, bow-legged, left-handed pitcher. What are you running up? 92 on a good pitch. Snapped a big curve, worked the inside, the outside of the plate. What struck me, though, is Casey, knowing East Carolina, kind of scouting them from reading stuff, and knowing their program a little bit. They got a great baseball program. They've come just short of Omaha multiple times. Really good program. They've gone to the regionals, God, I bet you 25 times in their history. Really good program. And the coach they have, Godwin, he coaches and you're a baseball guy, a scrappy, nip at your heels, take everything, pepper pot, we're going to outwork you, out-hustle you. That's their style of play. And they implemented that to the nth degree today. The first batter lays a bunt down and beats it out, right? They bunt with one out, and it's ironic. One of the reasons I've gotten away from, I used to get away from baseball. I hate the way Major League Baseball started being played 15 years ago. Small ball manufacturing is out of the game. Well, some people still do it. East Carolina manufactures the game. If they've got their way, they have a bunch of contact hitters. Now, they hit a couple home runs today, but I mean, you rarely strike these guys out. They work the pitch count. They work the overall, the current batting pitch count. They work the opposing. They are, and Casey, when they can impose their style of play, and Florida had no answers.
They did not.
Florida, East Carolina imposed their style of play. And that's a fun style. That was my old style. I was the guy somehow getting on base. And then somehow, if the pitch is in the dirt, you hop, go. You know those teams. That's old baseball. Sure. I mean, so if I somehow got on base, because that's kind of how I used to play, and I was reared in that era. If I got on base hit, walk, hit by pitch, it didn't matter. If the next pitch is in the dirt, we were taught to, be aggressive. I could run a little bit, so be aggressive. So my walk, you may as well call it a double, right? If you throw two in the dirt, I'm going to make you throw me out. I'm sitting on third. There's more than one way to get to third base.
That's how Bethune-Cookman just scored, by the way.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Now have they taken the lead, or is that
no? To tie it up.
Yeah, they're tied at 2 still, right?
They stole second and third, but it was really because of a secondary lead. Then the kid got a base hit, and all of a sudden it's a tie game.
And ECU, that's their style. And you could also tell their players and their coach, Godwin, has done a great job. He preaches, look in that dugout over there. I bet you they've all got NIL deals. Look at those did you see the bus they came in on? Those Gators? They're in the SEC. Look, are they better than you? Yeah, you can tell the first baseman makes a nice pick and he spikes the ball. You know what I mean? Not ready to get in a fight with the other team, but just, you know what? They love the underdog role. Probably the best way I can say it. They and their coach preaches that. And he recruits those guys. He doesn't have Liam Peterson, who's going to go in the top 10 next year. He's got this Norby kid.
Connor Norby's brother, by the way.
Yeah, Connor Norby's brother. Yeah. It's fun to watch, but they whipped Florida's butt. Now, conversely, I don't know if you saw any of the Gators softball last night or yesterday. I guess we were on. Mm-hmm. I was really disappointed in Florida. More than anything, Florida's coaching staff. I thought the Florida Gators in softball yesterday, I thought Texas, much like ECU did to Florida baseball, Texas dictated the game yesterday in softball. Texas, the main thing they did that I thought Florida should have tried to counter and they didn't, Texas softball, they pinched their infield. Particularly, they pinched their third baseman. And I did not know this until watching the game yesterday and listening to Casey, your number one play-by-play person, Beth Mullins. Mm-hmm. She was on the call and had some good analysts with her. They talked during the game that Texas softball, their third baseman, Torres, I believe is considered to be the best third base glove in the country. And they pinched her in, and a lot of the infield in. Texas did, right? Mm-hmm. Came in, pinched it. And Florida continued, particularly Little Falby, their leadoff hitter that sets the tone for Florida's offense. She's a slap hitter that can stand in and swing away. She slapped, I think, 4 consecutive balls right to the third baseman. It was playing pepper.
Not going to get it done.
Just playing pepper. And at some point now, to Texas, their pitcher's credit, she tried to work low, right? If you're pinching in looking for ground balls, you want to pitch low if you can. Mm-hmm. But Florida, take a few pitches. Don't slap immediately. See if you can lift something. And, I thought Florida got out schematically schemed, if that's the way.
Makes sense.
And they did it for 7 innings. Balby came up, at least 3 times and just played pepper with the third baseman. Boom, out, boom, out, boom, out.
Not going to get it done.
No. I thought both underdog teams that we've been talking about, East Carolina in baseball today against the Gators, and Texas, which was the higher seed than Florida. Florida's like the third national seed. I thought those 2 underdog teams absolutely dictated the style of play, and it won for them. It won both of them. So, NBA playoffs. Remember yesterday we had both of us, that game scared me if I was Indy. Knicks, what do you think now? I know they still got to win 2. I get it.
I still think the Pacers get it done, but good for the Knicks to show up unlike Minnesota in their same situation. So I'd still think Indiana's the deeper team, and they'll get it done because it looks like the Knicks are out of gas. But it was a good showing, no doubt about it.
Puncher's chance.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're alive, you got a chance.
Hey, puncher's chance, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, I guarantee you, Pacer fan was thinking, man, do it last night. Just do it. Don't even risk it. So the setup is tomorrow. Right? They go tomorrow. Saturday, the Knicks are on the road at Indy, but don't forget who had the original home court and gets the final game if there is one.
Right.
The Knicks.
Yeah.
They're the higher seed. They lost it early, but they're the higher seed. If the Knicks can spit the hook out tomorrow, the series goes back to New York. How bonkers will MSG be?
Yeah, you don't want, if you're the Pacers, you definitely do not want a Game 7.
Oh, and
you do everything you can to win this basketball game tomorrow.
You throw everything. You suit up Reggie Miller and Larry Bird on the sideline if you have to. I mean, if Rick Smits is still alive, didn't he play for them?
Whoever you get, Jermaine O'Neal, whatever you got.
Jeremy O'Neal. Oh my goodness
Ron
gracious.
Artest, otherwise known as Meta World Peace.
Yeah, Ron Artest. You get them all, but man, if that thing goes back on Monday to the Garden,
would not be good. Would not be good for the Pacers. I would bet the Knicks if that happened.
Oh yeah. We'll do some baseball in a moment. Cool story out of golf. Charlie Woods just won. Tiger's son, 16-year-old son. When we last checked in with him, he had just not just missed, but I mean he tried to qualify for the U.S. Open, which why would you not? And I guess he made a round or two, right? And I think he needed a 68 and had a 75 the final round. To the final move on.
Sure.
The cool thing about him is he's legit.
He's good.
Yeah, he's got talent. I don't know how far he can go, but it's not like Tiger calls up the U.S. Open people and says, "Hey, can we put my kid in?"
No.
Hey, won his way in.
He's good.
He's legit. Depending on what he does, pro or college, I would think Tiger's going to send him to college. Wouldn't you think? You wonder what'll happen. Tiger ended up going to college himself. You wonder.
It's actually a good question because if he went to a Stanford type, I'm sure the NIL would be rather large for the golf pro. So that's
it's a different world, isn't it?
It's actually an interesting predicament.
Yeah, different world, but good for. I'm a Tiger guy. I've always liked Tiger. I know he's had controversy. We all have controversy. Even I'm not. Casey, I'm not perfect.
That's not what they say.
Okay, I'm not perfect. No,
I heard differently.
No, I'm not perfect, but I've always been, and I've always liked Charlie, and it's been fun watching him grow up. And again, he's not Bronny James handed it. He's not. He's got some talent. So, Charlie Woods, big moment. 16-year-old son earned the biggest win of his career yesterday, or a couple days ago, when he surged to the top of the American Junior Golf Association's Team Tailor-Made Invitational. For what they call an unlikely victory. And I say unlikely. Charlie went into the event as the 604th ranked amateur. But, I mean, you're talking amateurs in the world, for God's sakes. I mean, so don't snicker at that at 16 years old. He won the event at Stream Song Resort in Bowling Green, Florida. Yeah. And, man, I know a lot of people have played that course. He won by 3 strokes over a couple of guys we wouldn't know. He started Wednesday, tied for second, grabbed the top spot with a 5-under in the final round. And let me scroll down a little further because there's one other person I wanted to tell you that's in this thing.
Miles Russell.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah,
Miles was in it. He
there
definitely.
you go. It's exactly here. It is. Here's the sentence I was looking for, Casey. Thank you. The event included the world's top amateur, Miles Russell, who finished 7th. This was legit, man. This was legit. The hype around Charlie's career has been immense since partnering with Tiger, his father, obviously, in the PNC Championship in 2020 as an 11-year-old. It just goes on to say this by far Charlie Woods' most significant moment in the sport, as he has yet to make the leap into the top of the amateur world. Obviously, he will. I don't know if I see anything that says, but he'll shoot way up the rankings, right, with this big win.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, it goes on just to. This is pretty cool. Charlie Woods shoots rounds of 70, 65, and 66. So he didn't just get lucky and played the final round, and then the weather came and guys came back to him. Right, 25 birdies and an eagle in 54 holes to win comfortably 15 under. Pretty cool. Now, spin off to this. My God, does the golf world, are they, man, the PGA especially, you are saying, oh my God, if this guy can keep this trajectory, how freaking marketable would he be?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. And guess who, if Charlie got going, he's, what do we say, 16? If he gets in his early 20s and he's a legitimate PGA player, I mean legitimate, playing on the tour, gets his card, wouldn't you think 10 years from now, 8 years from now, 5 years from now, he's 21, he's on the tour, who might his caddy be?
That'd be something. That would be a truly interesting turn of events, which is certainly possible if Tiger could still walk around. At that point.
Yeah, and obviously with Tiger's leg situations, but you gotta believe Tiger, at least early in Charlie's career in his 20s, if he gets his card, and you gotta believe Tiger's. Who else would be his caddy?
It's a heck of a story. That would be people would be all over that, man.
Oh my goodness! And he looks like Tiger. He's
does.
got the mannerisms of Tiger. Certainly. If he makes the tour, and he's already done this, he'll do the red shirt, right? Mm-hmm. Tiger's famous red shirt on Sunday, right? Blood in the water kind of thing.
Yeah.
Man, this would be a huge shot in the arm, PGA. But I mean, you don't think the British Open folks would go nuts when he goes over there?
Oh, they would.
Oh my God!
Big story, huge, massive story.
And
no doubt about
God, the money. Yeah, how about those Dubai guys that'll just say, "Hey, Tiger, come here, play around, play in this our own tournament. It's called the We're Really Rich Guys tournament. Yeah, you play in it. Here's $2 million just to show up."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those Dubai guys are great, aren't they? They just can create anything they want.
Pretty much.
They've got so much money. Hey, build a golf course here. Now, call the top 10 golfers in the world. Come play in our tournament. What's your tournament? It's our tournament.
Doesn't matter if you got the money.
We send gold plane to pick you up. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but that's my rich talk.
Okay, fair enough.
We send gold plane, pick you up, $2 million.
Plane would be something.
If you win, $2 million more. You want this big building? You have it.
Could happen.
Dubai's where the world's tallest building's at, right?
Yes.
I've seen the video. Oh my God. And it sways back and forth, right?
It is a large building.
Isn't it like it juts out like into the ocean, there's water all around it, I think, in case it falls, I guess, right?
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah, but I think it kind of juts up. A piece of land kind of juts out into a waterway, and then they just said, and what is it, like 160 stories or something?
Let's find out. I'll look it up.
It's ungodly how tall that building is. But if it is, if I'm correct on this building, I think it's built around water surrounds it. I think because if it falls,
it is 2,717 feet.
2,000.
And it is around water. You're correct.
2,000. Does it have any idea of how many stories, or it probably has a bunch of?
Let's keep the dream alive here.
Let's poke in there. How tall is the? To give us some perspective, it's 2,000, just over 2,000 feet tall.
2,700.
Almost 3,000. Can you bang in there? Empire State Building. How many feet? Sure. Just to give us some, because I've been on the observation deck of that thing. That's ridiculous tall.
Yeah, it is.
You ever been on that observation deck?
I have. It is. If you go to where you can
Yes.
Stand?
Get out and stay. Yeah.
It is 1,250.
God, so
it's 1,000 plus feet tall.
higher. And
the tip of the Empire State Building is 1,454.
Yeah,
but still tall.
And you can the highest the public can go, that observation deck,
1,250.
There's still some floors above you that you can't go to, but it's like 86 stories up, I think, or something. The observation deck.
It is.
It's ungodly.
102.
102. God.
All right, so the tallest building is 163 stories.
163 stories.
Mm-hmm.
God almighty, that's tall. I know when I was on that Empire State Building observation deck, and I'm a squeamer. I don't ride fair rides. I'm not a thrill seeker at all. Man, when I got out there, and you can go to the side and kind of look over, obviously. Oh man, my stomach got, that feeling you get.
Do.
Yeah.
You would really like that in Chicago. In the I don't know what it's called now, but it was Sears Tower. There's like
Gotcha.
a walkout thing,
and
it's a glass floor.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it looks like there's nothing there. You could try that. It's a bit intimidating. Like, I'm not really scared of situations like that, but I was like, oh, we're up here.
Oh, you did it.
Oh yeah,
you did it.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
no,
I felt pretty confident. It wasn't gonna break,
there's a walkway, I think, and I may be way off on this, but I know there's a walkway built, kind of a horseshoe walkway built. I think it's way up in the Grand Canyon, and it's got that glass.
Oh,
thing.
you're correct. I've been on it.
Yeah, it's got that glass thing, and that's kind of the part of the thrill.
People like freak out. Like when I was there was somebody, like I was out there, and like somebody just kind of like lost it.
They did, really?
And they couldn't move, and they're like having a panic attack.
Yeah, I could see that. I literally could see that. I'm not that level, but no, I get
it, but like where you like, it's so weird too, because like how am I supposed to, like, how are we gonna help you?
It's like
they're not bringing the rescue crew out 10 like you're right there, just get up, but you know what I mean?
Yes,
it's hard to get your head in that spot.
Like you see some of these in our city here, like down by the stadium and by the TV stations and different TV stations and stuff. You'll see the towers that go way up, right? Way up, and they have climbing pole. You could climb all the way up. They have to sometimes to change the light and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a guy. If I started climbing one of those poles, after about, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 feet, where it's high.
Yeah, 50 feet's high.
It's weird, man. I think mine and your motor skills, you don't trust. You're like, okay, I could go. It's got steps that I can step on and grab with my hands and just climb, right? 1,000 feet straight up. And there are steps, and they're anchored, and they're fine. But you get so high, you start doubting your hand and your grip.
I think that's real, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you're like, I can remember doing a few climb things like that. One time we did a thing related to that. I was in a course one time, and we went to a job training. We went to one of those trusting courses.
Oh, yeah.
And there's one over there by JU, and it's got a bunch of different things, including pretty high up now. I mean, pretty high up. You climb up, and it's wide enough to walk. Now, you're harnessed in, too, by the way, if you fall. But it's the walkway between the two poles that are, I don't know, 50 or 60 feet up. You got to go from one pole that you climb up, walk across to the other pole. Now, you are harnessed in.
Mm-hmm.
And the walkway is narrow. I mean, it's not balance beam narrow, but it's narrow. It's plenty wide enough to do a human walk, without having to. But the height and the vision, and man, I ended up doing most of it scooching. Scooching.
You do what you got to do.
Yes, even though you're hemmed in, even though you are hemmed. And anyway, I'm glad we got off on that Charlie Woods thing. Pretty neat. It's gonna be fun to track him. Okay, we got some stuff to get to today on the program. There's a rumor we may even get to the Jim Irsay collection story. We've been teasing that. Maybe we'll do that on the way back from our first break. We got Brent Beard coming up around 5 o'clock. We hope to hear from Trenton Torsha. He's at the Tallahassee Baseball Regional. Florida State and Bethune are still, we think, locked up 2-2 in a delay. Mississippi State is scheduled to go later tonight. We'll go over all the scores that have been completed. They're being played right now that are in delay, and look at the night schedule as well. One down, a long way to go. The Young and Norvelle Show continues after this timeout on Action Sports Jax.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jax Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jax Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jax Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device, you're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
The Jacksonville Basketball Academy camps are in full swing. They go all the way through August 4th. Just got started, 9 weeks of camps, different levels, different age groups, different accomplishments that you would like to reach, no matter where your game is at. If you're a beginning basketball player, you're trying out for a middle school team, you want to try out for your high school team, or your existing high school player, you just want to work on your game and get it better and think about maybe a college scholarship, they can do that and a whole lot more. They've done it a long time. Coach Jim Martin and his Jacksonville Basketball Academy camps are going on right now. Plenty of time to sign up They're basically 4 and 5 day camps, so weekly camps. You can, of course, sign up for multiple ones. Find out all the information, different levels of camps, where they're at, how to get involved. Go to their site. Just Google them at JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. JacksonvilleBasketballAcademy.com. A lot to get to. Casey Kurtz producing. Casey, before we get to some of those topics we teased a moment ago, we lost Hot Lips earlier, I just saw. We lost the Hot Lips. You know who Hot Lips was? Lost her at 87 years old from the world of Hollywood. Hot Lips.
I do not.
Hot Lips. Margaret Houlihan was her character name in the great comedy show MASH. She was Hot Lips. She was the flirtatious, supposed to be, sexy lead nurse in the camp MASH. Loretta Swit was her name, 87 years old. Not to be confused with, we didn't lose Thunder Lips. You remember who Thunder Lips was? Kind of sports related.
Still no.
Hulk Hogan played, that was the character Hulk Hogan. He was Thunder Lips, right, in one of those Rocky movies. Remember, he was the big wrestler.
Fair enough.
I think his nickname in that wrestling, as that wrestler in Rocky, he was Thunder Lips, but we lost Hot Lips. 87. Many people know of Hot Lips. MASH was such a good comedy show. It would delve into some real life stuff too. It was it was a sitcom. It was a comedy, but they would have episodes, and it ran a long time, like 11 years. Very famous, popular show. They would have some hard-hitting topics. It was just occasionally, I don't know, what the I get the directors, the producers, the writers. They would handle a full 30-minute episode would kind of be, the horrors of war and just the mental side and just but it was a 80% comedy, just really well written. I've seen every episode 8 million times. I can watch a replay now and there's a line I go, man, I just picked up on that line. Real quick writing, quick-witted. You go, damn, how did I not hear that? There's 7 million times. You want to talk about this Jim Irsay thing here that I've been teasing for about 4 years?
I think you really want to talk about
it. Yeah. It's about two weeks old now. A week old, I guess.
About a week.
We lost Jim Irsay, the former owner of the Colts. He passed away at 65. Come to find out, the pretty neat story I read. He was a really world-renowned collector. I mean, he liked to collect sports memorabilia, pop culture, music, just things. So we got talking a little bit. Some of the things he had in his collection. He had the championship belt from the Rumble in the Jungle, the famous Ali Foreman fight, huge fight in the history of boxing. He got a hold of the drum, as I said, what do you call that? The drum face?
Drumhead.
The drumhead. The Beatles drumhead that Ringo Starr played on the first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show when they basically introduced themselves to America. You're talking $2 million for some of these things. How about this? He owned the saddle ridden by Ron Turcotte. He was a famous jockey. Secretariat's Belmont saddle.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Not that the other ones aren't cool, but that's
cool. And that was the race that finished off the Triple Crown, 31 lengths. Many people, and I subscribe. I'll fight anybody to the day I die. I think that was the greatest sporting moment in sports. And I know Secretariat's an animal, but Secretariat was an athlete. Winning that race against that field by 31 lengths.
It's a lot.
Ungodly. He owned that saddle.
That's
he
cool.
also owned the famous Stetson cowboy hat that Texas Governor John Conley had in his possession and was going to give to JFK as they were in the motorcade heading to the event they were going to. He was going to present, hey, welcome to Texas, Mr. President. And, of course...
That's pretty crazy.
JFK got assassinated. Conley got hit.
Oh, really?
He owned... Yeah, got hit. He owned that.
Wow.
He owned one of Elton John's touring pianos.
Jeez.
How about that? He owned the most famous Pink Floyd guitar that David Gilmour owned, his famous black Stratocaster.
Okay.
He got a hold of that for a couple $1 million. He owned a Kurt Cobain guitar.
Wow. Impressive.
He owned a John Lennon piano that he kept in his house. Imagine that's awesome. And people come over to your house, hey, nice piano. Where'd you get it? Oh,
John Lennon.
Belonged to John Lennon. He keeps the Ringo Starr drum kit, including the what do we call it? The drum head. He keeps that, or kept that, at his Colts office. How cool! What a good talking point is that? Hey, wow, nice. You're a big Beatle fan. It's a nice drum kit. Oh, that was actually Ringo's kit.
True.
No, you can't play it. He owned the original Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book, they called it. The original book.
Wow.
That put together, with the steps and all. I think he fought alcoholism.
How do you decide you want some of this stuff?
Yeah.
Like, where does one go to find the hat they were going to give to JFK? Like, a lot of this other stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, that one, how does that come up in conversation? Like, you could own this.
Couple more things. One thing he said, Jim Irsay, before he passed away, a great collector. There was one item that said he kicked himself for not bidding, and it was only $18,000. It doesn't go in to say, did he forget to bid, or did he just say, I'm done? He kicked himself for not bidding $18,000 to possess and own Wilson. You know who Wilson is, right?
Yeah, the ball.
The volleyball. The actual volleyball from Castaway. Yes. He passed on that, or just didn't get a bid back in.
That's shocking.
And it was only $18,000. That'd be cool to have Wilson!
Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. $18,000 doesn't feel that expensive.
No, and that's what he was saying. He kicked himself, and I don't know, there might have been a snafu or he forgot.
Sure. Yeah.
But it went for $18,000.
That's it, huh?
One thing he passed on, and he made he described why he passed on these actually two possessions he could have bid on and would have won them, and he thought, no, these are just too damn important, and they need to be in an American museum. Oh, by the way, let me stop. His collection travels. So it travels. He sends it out. I guess he still will, his foundation or whatever. But
That's cool.
And I don't think it's ever come anywhere near here. But wouldn't it be cool to go see all these things?
Definitely.
But the two items he would have won probably, but he thought, no, these are just too important. They need to be in an American museum. He had a chance to purchase Martin Luther King's Bible and his room key when he was shot. He was shot coming out of that hotel in Memphis. I guess the gunman was across, but he just thought he passed on that. Could have gotten those, and he said, and I can understand that. Not that the Stetson hat, but that wasn't like that was JFK's hat. That was going to be a gift to JFK.
It's just a hat.
He never took really possession. It's kind of got a history mark in it, but can't you see why he would have passed on MLK's Bible and the room key?
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's amazing that kind of stuff, like, exists isn't the right word, but, like, you could buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're on a good thought process that I had. Some of these things, unless John Lennon's family never got possession of that piano somehow.
Yeah.
Unless it was property of the Beatles or Apple record. You think to yourself, like you just said, how would the family let this out of the family? I don't think they would have been just about to starve to death.
Right. Yeah.
Or needing to pay. But how would David Gilmour's famous black Stratocaster, get away from the Gilmour family, or at least the Pink Floyd Foundation or something, you know?
You would think Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah. The Ali belt, championship belt.
Good one.
How does that get out of the...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like how... Yeah. That'd be an interesting story. Like how, and you probably can't tell it, unfortunately, but like how does does someone call him?
Yeah.
Is he on eBay? Like what happened here?
Yeah. He, I can't remember this part. I forgot to write it down. He was talking with another really, really wealthy person, and it might have been Ringo Starr's drum kit. but it said he ran into, and it might have been another owner, and they were just, I think that was it. He was at an owner's meeting, and, they're in the hallways, all the owners are meeting and talking. He's bumping into this guy, and I can't remember who it was. And the guy was going, yeah, man, something about, I almost got that Ringo kid or something, but somebody got me, and it was Irsay.
That's good.
And it was either that or vice versa.
Yeah.
It was either that or vice versa. But I think it was actually Irsay that went, yeah, son of a gun. I thought I had blankety blank, and somebody outbid me. It was the other owner.
That's tough.
And I told you, last thing, we'll get off this. I told you that he didn't name the person, but some like Middle Eastern sheik, with more money, the guys that build those buildings over there.
Yep.
Just had heard about this collection, and he gets word to Jim Irsay and says, I want to buy the whole damn thing. I want to buy everything you got. Here's $1.5 billion.
Wow.
And he said no.
That's crazy.
And, I can see saying no to that. I mean,
when you have it.
Yeah, he's got money.
Yeah.
He had money.
His family's going to be okay.
Yeah, but I mean, guy says, I got my checkbook right here, man.
I know, that's tough.
$1.5 billion with a B.
That's a tough turn down.
that is a tough turn down. Let's see if we've got any more updates on some baseball here. Let me hit the old refresh. For people just tuning in, baseball from today, Florida got absolutely whitewashed in their first game today in Conway. ECU, East Carolina, from the opening pitch, just dominated the Gators. Final score was 11-6. It wasn't that close. East Carolina was ahead from the jump. They led 9-0 at one point. Really, really bad performance by Florida. Florida State Bethune still in a delay. I'm showing that's early third inning, I believe it is. I think FSU's batting in the bottom of 3. They are tied at 2. Bethune-Cookman came in 37-21. Florida State 38-14, FSU hosting that regional. Also, Hattiesburg Regional, top of the 4th, Miami, 4-0 lead over Alabama. If that holds, that's a bit of an upset now. Miami had to get hot to get in the tournament. So Miami leading Alabama, still a long way to go, top of the 4th in the Hattiesburg Regional. Bottom of 3rd, Georgia leading, but Binghamton has gotten on the board. Georgia 5-2 now. Georgia jumped out to a 5-0 lead, but now it's the Dogs leading Binghamton 5-2. That's obviously the Athens Regional. Bottom of the 3rd, Georgia, of course, the home team in the first game. Some other games in progress from the college baseball regionals, which have started all over the country. Bottom of the 2nd inning, the Los Angeles Regional, UCLA leading Fresno State 4-0. We go over to the Oxford Regional. That is in the bottom of the 2nd. Georgia Tech shutting out Western Kentucky 3-0. We've had some rain delays and still have some delays, I guess rain or lightning. I missed a couple here.
Hey, one from Auburn Regional.
Yeah, what do you got?
Stetson scores 7 in the first inning. It's 7-0 Stetson over NC State.
How about that?
First inning. They literally put up 7 in the first.
7 spot. Goodness gracious. Track that.
Win one for the A-Sun. Come on.
How about A-Sun? How about that?
Hold on, A-Sun.
Come on.
8 more innings to go. Actually, NC State hasn't hit yet, so they got 9 innings to go still. 7 in the first is a good start.
Yeah, not a bad start. Clemson Regional, right now, middle of the 6th inning. Kentucky a 3-2 lead over West Virginia. Bottom of the 5th over in Fayetteville, the Arkansas Regional. This game's tighter than I thought it was going to be. Not that I know a lot about North Dakota State baseball, but Arkansas, the host school, leading 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Arkansas is a really good team. Florida somehow took a series from them. I was really impressed with Arkansas. Top of the 9th, Nashville Regional. Louisville, 8-3 lead, top of the 9th over East Tennessee State. We've got top of the 8th, the Texas Longhorns, the number 2 overall seed. They lead their game in their regional in Austin, Texas, 7-1 over Houston Christian. And let me zoom back down. I didn't get to this one. Top of the 6th inning in Corvallis, that's out in Oregon. Southern Cal, USC, 5-1 lead in the top of the 6th over TCU. We scroll around, see if there's any changes. Nothing in some of the ones we've reported. There's that Stetson. Bottom of the 1st, like you said. 7 runs on 3 hits. 1 error for NC State. So you got to believe that was part of that big
for sure
uprising. Stetson, You know this from being around here. A lot of people don't. Stetson really is the bully of the A-Sun baseball.
Yeah, they're good.
I mean, they play good baseball at Stetson. They have for a long time, and I don't know this is a fact that the A-Sun baseball is always at Stetson. It's in DeLand a lot, and it's one of those deals. Their park is 20 years old, probably. It's fairly modern by A-Sun standards. It's a nice park. But Stetson has some kind of deal with the city of DeLand. It's the only game in town, so the city, there's a nice synergy, and they put on a good tournament. Stetson's good. They're 40-20 this year going into this game. They lead NC State, who's good. I mean, NC State was upper echelon ACC, so we'll track that. Top of the third, Eugene Regional out in Oregon as well. Arizona leading Cal Poly 3-0. And then most of your other games are scheduled at 6 or later. Let me scroll through and see some games of note that kind of would turn my head. A 6 o'clock game that could be a pretty good baseball game is the second game in Athens, Oklahoma State and Duke. Duke has really played good baseball. They've had to fight off their coach being hired by bigger schools. Duke plays good ball. Oklahoma State is a historical, pretty good power. That's one to probably keep an eye on. Trying to see if anything else really turns my head. Nebraska and Oklahoma would have been a great football game from years gone by. South Carolina Upstate. This will be one of those little brother playing big brother. They are playing Clemson. That's a 7:30, but that's one of those Upstate. They always in that area looked as that'd be like JU going to play Florida, kind of.
Yeah.
Got to be careful with those teams.
For sure.
Sometimes. The second game in Tallahassee, Trenton Torchia is over there. Hopefully we can hear from Trent. Mississippi State plays Northeastern. That'll be pushed back a little bit probably with the rain. Trying to see if anything else really, really jumps out. Okay, here's a couple of other scores I want to get to from earlier today. North Carolina shut out Holy Cross. That's a final in the Chapel Hill Regional. North Carolina's playing really, really good ball. We told you Florida got really beat up pretty bad. It's worse than the score. Florida loses to East Carolina today in baseball, 11-6. East Carolina, 15 hits, no errors. Florida, 9 late in the game hits, by the way. They committed 2 errors and just didn't play crisp at all. Cincinnati in a bit of an upset. Cincinnati, 11-6 score as well over Wake Forest. That is a final. That's in the Knoxville Regional. A little bit of a surprise. Not that I know case about a lot about Cincinnati baseball, but Wake Forest plays good baseball.
They do.
They play good baseball.
They're very good.
So that's a look at your completed games and some games that are in progress. So I guess we don't have that many delays. There was quite a few earlier. We've gotten some of them going. The game in the Georgia game in Athens got going. It was delayed, and obviously over in Tallahassee a little bit of a delay. All right, that's a good look. Tonight, softball, really the game in our area that people will be paying attention to. Florida facing elimination. The Gators need to you got to win to stay alive now. I mean, win to stay alive. Florida will play Tennessee. Loser is eliminated, 7 o'clock first pitch. And my goodness, Casey, what a tough way for Tennessee to lose softball.
Yeah, brutal.
Oh, God.
Brutal.
Man. But
that ball was crushed too, though.
That ball,
it was not cheap.
No. 3-run, walk-off home run, 2 out, 2 strikes.
Crazy.
Tennessee had been leading Oklahoma 3-1 all game long. And you can tell every other team out there, all 7 teams not named Oklahoma, were pulling for Tennessee, all 6 other ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Oklahoma's won 4 consecutive.
Except maybe the Gators, who would have had to play.
Yeah, probably.
Everybody but that.
But man, Oklahoma, and they've won games like that quite a bit in this run. I guess you have to win games like that, but they've had a couple games like that, man. I think they've even beaten Florida like that before.
They fight.
And they really do. You talk about you got to beat the champion. You've got to beat them. Pick them up and punch them again.
Kill them, yeah.
Yeah, you really do. But it was, hell, we were on the show yesterday, and I'm like, I saw the ball going over, and I'm like, okay, home run, but it was still 3-1. It was a 3-1. I go, maybe that was a solo. Well, maybe that was that was a 3-run walk-off, game over. They have a great shot of that from the center field stands. It's a great shot. And bless the Tennessee outfielders. They're in their all orange uniforms, and all the outfielders kind of drift. Casey, it was dead center field, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Just dead center field. So the center fielder runs back, and the right and left fielder kind of started drifting over. And as it goes out, the crowd goes nuts, and you can see those three outfielders just start slowly trudging. It's a long walk to the dugout.
Yes, it is. And there's no reason to hustle.
No reason. If you hustle, you're hustling right into the Oklahoma celebration.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Slow it down.
But, yeah, you saw three of these bright orange, and they had their full orange on, man. Mm-hmm. They were, you could all, if the music accompanied the walk, it'd been a march. It was brutal.
Painful.
It really was. All right, let's regroup. Let's take another break here. We are a few minutes away from, I think, Brent Beard. Anytime now we could hear from Trenton Torsha unless he's hunkered down with, I don't know if it's rain, lightning, or both in Tallahassee. So we hope to hear from Trent as he is live over in Tallahassee taking in the Tallahassee Baseball Regional. All right, we'll come back hopefully with Brent Beard soon. A lot of stuff to talk about, including the wrapping up of the SEC meetings. I thought Greg Sankey said something that you might read between the lines. That and a whole lot more. Stay with us right here on the Young and Norvelle Show.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained. and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoldCityAC.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoldCityAC.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Let's call an audible here real quick, and a couple of just kind of fun NFL things I want to get to. Was reading an article earlier this morning on The Athletic about the Jaguars and Coach Liam Cohen. And the crux of the article, in case I'd like you to jump in here as well, I can't remember who the writer's, son of a gun, and I know his name, I can't remember him. I want to give him credit. But the crux of the article was the writer of the article, thought the Jaguars really did a good thing by hiring a Liam Cohen type guy. And he went on to reference, he said, like Doug Marrone and some of the other hires, even Urban Meyer, they've already had these a bunch of these intense, not hard ass, but kind of hard ass intense, go harder, run through that wall hard, intense. Right. The crux of the article, and I kind of agree with it. He said it would have been easy for the Jaguars just to do that again. Go find Mike Vrabel, hard ass, or the next hard ass guy, right? Intense guy. But they went a different route. And what do you think of that? I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not like the other ways really worked. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, I think Liam Cohen, it feels like he just has something. It's different, but it feels a little bit special. Yeah. And they were willing to do a lot of things to get him here. Once he originally said, no thanks, I'm good. Yeah. And they said, no, we need you. And I think people are excited. I think he should be. I think he's a really good offensive mind, and I think it's going to be fun.
It was kind of neat, though, as I'm reading that. And he was, I don't really remember a lot about Doug Marrone, but he referenced Doug Marrone, kind of intense guy.
Doug Marrone was tough, man.
Yeah, intense, tough guy, and I think he was, defensive-minded guy. Urban Meyer, his middle name was intense and structure, and sometimes that squeezes your team a little bit. I thought that was kind of neat. Yeah, well, we just mentioned Liam Cohen. I remember, like everybody else, the love affair. Yes, I'll go to the prom with you. No, I won't go to the prom. Yeah, I will go to the prom with you, right? I wonder if people talked about this. It just hit me. That kind of, no, we're not going to get it. Yeah, we are, was how the franchise got here. Jacksonville chased the franchise when we knew two were coming in. Jacksonville had chased, and they were in it. But the finalists were announced, and Jacksonville didn't make the final cut, right? St. Louis was the other one, but St. Louis screwed it up.
Yeah.
And the league came back to Jacksonville, kind of like Con and the boys contacted the league.
Yeah.
No, I never put those two things together. Cohen, man, we tried. We gave it the old college. We just came up short. Wait a minute.
No, it's real. It's funny you bring that up because we just recorded something. Brent and Jags longtime PR guy Dan Edwards was here for an hour earlier this week for a show we're going to put out in July, and he talked about that exact thing, how that played out, and how he ended up here. I can't really say too much about it until we're going to put it out, but now that you bring it up, it is. Yeah. Is very similar, and hopefully, I hope it works out that way.
I'll tell you one thing.
That was good.
If this thing works out with the Liam Cohen regime, that's an easy story for everybody.
Yeah.
Man, this must be the right guy. It must be fate,
It's true. Lightning may strike twice.
I just put that together. Another NFL thing I wanted to get out. This is just kind of fun. I was, shame on me, I forgot to send you the still photo of this, but this is one of those, how does this get away from the PR staff? Out of the Falcons camp. Did you see this making the rounds? I guess this week, most everybody's in OTAs right now, pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot of OTAs are going on or just wrapping up or what have you. Out of the Falcons camp. One of a million, posts out there in social media. Couple of Falcon players are standing shoulder to shoulder. And they're in their practice gear, not pads, but they're in their jerseys and cleats and shorts. And they're kind of doing their cool pose like cool young people do. And there's a caption from the Falcons PR, hey, cruising along or putting the work in or whatever. The two players, I know one guy, the one running back, Mike Ford. I remember that guy. Another player, Jesse Bates. Don't know him. Two current players. Just your standard PR shot sent to social media. It goes out there. The running back's number is 28, and the other guy's number is 3. Get it?
I do now.
It was a mistake. That was the score of the Super Bowl that they blew.
Yeah.
They led 28-3. They did not do this on purpose, and they yanked it down. They figured it out.
Huh. That's interesting.
How about that, though? How ironic is that? Those two standing next to each other, and they were standing backward. It was not backward, but the 3 was.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it just, when I looked at it, I went, whoa. The caption I saw said, "Hey, this is causing controversy." So I immediately I went, "Oh my God, that's the score!" And it went on to say, the article about this went on to say that, the Falcons PR staff, they literally go to great lengths to erase anything about 28-3.
How about that?
They want that, which you can't blame them. It's
Yeah.
like what the Chargers. What was the score here? 27-0 or whatever.
Yeah.
They lost. But how ironic is that? Two guys, just innocuously players, get a shot taken. They think this will be a nice one. They post it up, and it's two guys wearing one jersey 28 and one 3.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, that's what you're talking about right there.
Yeah, yes. And there's we out here, right? Yeah,
man.
How about that?
That's wild.
The irony. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Unfortunate.
And it made it out. It was out for a couple hours. So it's been. And the article went on to say it's been captured, so it's out there, man.
Yep.
You can't pull everybody's back.
That's funny.
You can throw your own yearbook away because you go, oh God, I don't know. Well, you can't go get them all.
You can't get them all.
You can't. You can't go get them all. I don't know if we'll get into this with Brent. It is a college note, but God almighty. It's pretty apparent now that the powers that be that run the March Madness tournament, the best sporting event we have, guess what they're going to do?
What you got?
Expand.
Oh, really?
Yes, they're now, of course, and you know why.
Money.
More games means more money.
Television.
It looks like, I'm not sure the time frame, but it looks like there's a groundswell for the money people to bump it up to 72 or maybe 76 teams.
Wow.
There's already 68. 64 was fine. You're just going to add some bad games, right?
Yep.
Waste of time. But when this gets passed, and this isn't Terry being silly, when this gets passed, if you add, so they're at 68, they're either going to add 4 or 8 more, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you add, that's several more games. That blows up the tournament even bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Time frame. So you literally, March Madness will be extremely close to starting in February.
Yes.
And March Madness already ends in April.
It does.
So, Casey, we are very close. We're 1.5 more expansions from March Madness. Will start literally in February and end in April.
It just doesn't work. The only way I'm not on board, but the only way that this makes any sense to me is I don't need to see the 19th SEC team.
No.
Don't give me Vanderbilt. Give me the second A-Sun team. But still, do I really care? No,
yes,
not really.
But do you want? Do you really want that second A-Sun and go watch them play the second team or the second SWAC team?
I don't want to watch any of it.
No. It in the social world, it's really being panned. Joe Fan pretty consistently, when you read on anything like this about this expansion, Joe Fan is going, it was fine at 64. Mm-hmm. They're going to screw this great thing up as they've already started doing it.
Sounds about right.
It's about 90% if you catch any social, where Joe Fan is going, why are you screwing with this thing? We know why. Money. But speaking of money, though, Casey, how much, if you're ESPN and college basketball comes to you and says, we're going to give you, 6 more games, but that low quality, how much more money would I really want to pony up? I'll be like,
Yeah.
Where's the value?
No, that's fair. I mean, but it might be better than the 6-3 play of SportsCenter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I guess.
And I mean, what are you really competing against?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one thing where it's like you're pretty locked into the time frame in terms of you're going against NHL or NBA regular season or, a playoff game. Maybe it'll do good.
I had an epiphany. You ever have one of those?
Not often.
You see a doctor for it?
I would if I ever had one.
I had an epiphany, and obviously I was as locked in as anyone. March Madness. I love March Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's run. It hit me about a week ago, and I looked it up, and yes, I was correct. I cannot believe I didn't notice this, and we didn't talk about this. I'll throw it out there. There was one massive thing from this year's entire March Madness tournament that was missing. And this would it'd be a miracle if you could hit it. I don't want to put you on the spot. Does anything come to mind?
It wasn't there?
That was missing this year, and I can't believe I didn't notice it, and we didn't talk about it.
Jim Nance?
Close. Very close. Lily was not in March Madness this year. AT&T girl, Lily.
Oh, okay.
Can you believe, right? Think
That's
about it.
a good point. It was like Blake Griffin, right?
Think about it. Yep. Lily, for the first time in years, and remember, I love Lily. Everybody loves Lily. Beautiful girl. Had been part of it for, God, a long time.
Yeah, she was there.
Now, she's in every other break, right? And but she was as part of March Madness the last 15 years as anybody. I mean, she was all over. She wasn't in it and probably will never go back.
Yeah, she's big time now.
Yeah, and she had, we told the story. She got so big, like those, all those commercials, the Mayhem guy.
Oh, yeah, Mayhem guy's good.
The insurance girl, Flo. Lily, the AT&T girl. They hit that point, they're so big, they've made so much money, they're so powerful because they've become the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I've told the story, but here's why she's not in it anymore and probably will never be in it. She's such an attractive girl, and she's came up the modeling era, was a model, and you can find her beautiful girl, bikini modeling, just gorgeous girl, nothing tawdry. I like using that word, but just a beautiful girl, and she's very attractive on these commercials, cute and bubbly. Well, she got so popular during March Madness every year. Guys who are known as pigs, right?
Fair enough.
Guys could be known as pigs. Social media would be so, they think complimentary, but just pigs.
Didn't go well.
Man, she's so blanking hot. Look at her. Yeah. And it got so bad year after year. I think it was 2 years ago. Lily got so popular, she basically could control those commercials. And the last year she was on it a couple years ago, this was a story. If you watch the last 2 years, I think, that she did the commercials, all March Madness, she was able to produce them and block them and run the commercial, basically. She got so tired of the male pigs commenting about her sexuality and her body and her, that she would purposely set up the commercial. She's standing behind a register. Or she's standing, there's a body block. She just didn't want to feed into the pigs out there. Look at her big blankety blank, the way,
Yeah.
And I think she's just made so much money. She just looks like she just walked away and said, "Hey, man, I'm done."
She's Squirrel Girl now in Marvel.
What is she?
Squirrel, like
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, Marvel character.
You don't happen to have a picture of that, do you?
It's a voice.
Oh, she's just a voice. Yeah, but I cannot believe I never thought, where the hell's Lily?
Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah.
They had Blake Griffin in there because they still had those spots.
Yeah. And who was the other guy?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
But I definitely remember Blake Griffin was there, and I was like, why is Blake Griffin here?
Yeah, and he wasn't terrible. He wasn't Lily.
He was not?
he was not Lily. I'll tell you, man, I don't know if those actors, obviously they get typecast so bad, but man, they've got to make gobs of money.
Oh, yeah. Was
it you that told me Mayhem Guy is in a show?
Really?
Or was in a show? Or, yeah. What do you think? Do you think those actors and actresses, do they go, gosh, man, I've got all these acting chops, and this is what I'm doing.
I mean, probably,
Making
but
a
like
lot
they
of money,
become
man.
so big from just that.
Making so much money. So much money. I didn't love Mayhem Guy at the beginning.
I didn't either, but it works.
Are you serious? You didn't like it either?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, at first I'm like, but no, it's it's good.
Yeah, he's been in some stuff. Actually, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Mayhem Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got that look, doesn't he? You could see him in a sitcom or a detective.
Oh, he was in SVU. How about that?
Yeah.
Law and Order SVU.
Yeah, somebody told me
there you go.
Maybe not a huge role, but he was a reoccurring guy.
Reoccurring.
Not the star guy, you know, or guys.
Yeah, he's been in some stuff. Good for him.
You know, the Flo commercials that have been around for so long. She's the star, obviously, but she spurned off a couple of other ones.
There's like side characters now.
Yeah, the guy, the goofy kind of lovable guy, and there's a couple of them.
I'm the girl that has no personality. I'm invested in the side characters over at Progressive Insurance.
Expound on that. You like them?
I like the fact that the commercials now like don't even have to have Flo, but you know that these people came from the Flo story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy is the second biggest one, right?
The guy is the second biggest.
Yeah, kind of redheaded. Lovable guy. I'm trying to think of who's the other one you referenced though. I'm trying to think.
There's a girl that has she has a commercial right now. I don't even know how to find this, but she has no personality at all. Like she never laughs, she never smiles. She just like says things and like with a straight face. It's kind of funny.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't picture her.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find something.
Let me see here. So Trent says Florida State, obviously we know, delay in the third inning. He's over there. It's dumping and lightning. Ooh. Long night ahead. So it's 5-11. They're in the third inning. This is game one. Trent obviously is over there to watch good baseball, but he's played at Mississippi State. He's over there to see Mississippi State play.
Absolutely.
This is what we talked about, and I think this still is in play. It may not, but it has been in play for years. For the longest time, the host regional got to pick, do you want to be the first or second? TV may have eliminated that, but teams used to pick, most times if you're the host, you want to play the second game, which is, going to be 6:30, 7 to get the bigger crowd, off work people.
Sure.
And you're the home team. Well, several years ago, when they could still pick, a lot of coaches would go, wait a minute, and this is a perfect example. You know what? Why don't we play the first game? We'll have a little smaller crowd, but if rain comes in and there's a delay, if we started at 1 and we're delayed and it takes us 6 hours, at least we're leaving this ballpark at 7:30.
Yeah.
We're not trying to get our 7:30 game in that starts at 9:45 and ends at 1:17, and we get back to the hotel and get to sleep at 3.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
And you got an advantage if you're the team that lost the first game, because then the team that loses at midnight has to turn around and play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you get them right out of the gate, right?
Yeah.
Woo.
Be tough.
So, yeah, I'm not sure with so much TV now if that rule is still in place, but it used to be. And forever, the host regional guy would always be that night game. And then it started changing. I don't know if it was a new rule or the coaches didn't know about it, but I think it might have changed back. I think TV dominates now. But, if you're Florida State, it's going to take a while. At least you're hopefully leaving this ballpark at 8 instead of 1:45.
Definitely.
Definitely. Okay, let's go.
Here's your, by the way, here's who I'm talking about. This girl.
Oh, yeah. She's carved out a great niche, too.
They've developed a good character.
Yeah. They almost look like sisters, don't they? A little bit
They
different.
do, kind of.
Facially, different hair. But, yeah, you're right. How'd you describe her? She's just kind of...
No emotion, no personality.
She's just kind of...
She's just there.
Now, there's nothing... Mara's her name, I guess.
Mara, yeah.
I can't think of the guy's name. But we all know the guy. In the commercial, Mara and... redheaded guy, they don't have a thing going on, do they?
I don't think so.
They're just all coworkers. Is that?
Yeah, I think they all just work there, and none of them are really that happy besides Flo.
Yeah,
because Flo loves to work it for Progressive.
Oh yeah.
They developed a whole thing here.
Isn't that amazing? And I'm trying to think, the other ones. No, Mayhem guy. No,
Mayhem guy's by himself.
He's the guy. Lily, she
was
might
there
have
a team.
I don't know if she would have one person with her the whole March Madness or not.
I don't remember.
Did did Lily pop up non-March Madness?
Yeah, she was before March Madness.
I mean, she would for AT&T.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
she was the full-time.
Yeah, you could see. We could be watching a show, a TV show in August.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she pops up during the commercial.
She could have been there.
Yeah, but she got fed up with guys being pigs, basically. Guys being pigs on the internet.
What a shock.
Yes, never thought that. Let's go through some of these scores again. I hope we hear from Brent Baird. He may be having some Friday get home. Actually, traffic should be getting less, right, with school out.
Yeah, I think today was the last day.
Yeah,
actually.
I think today was pretty much the last. No matter
good for those.
No matter what, I know there were 2 more graduations at the arena. All right, let's go through some scores here before we take another break and hopefully hook up with Brent Beard. Top of the ninth, I'm showing Texas. The Longhorns really running away now from Houston Christian, 7-1. That's almost a final. Bottom of the seventh, Kentucky and West Virginia tied at 3. Bottom of the seventh, that's Clemson's regional. Obviously, Texas is the Austin regional. Arkansas, a little bit of distance now. Top of the seventh in their ball game. Arkansas, the Razorbacks lead North Dakota State 6-2 now. We told you Florida State in a delay with Bethune-Cookman. They're in the third, tied at 2. Interestingly enough, Bethune has out-hit Florida State 5-2. How about that? End of 6th. They're going into the 7th. Southern Cal, the Trojans leading TCU 6-1. That's the Corvallis Regional. Over in Athens, they've moved now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Georgia stretching their lead over Binghamton. Georgia 8-2 leading that, of course, in Athens. Man, we got a good one going on. Top of the 5th inning, Hattiesburg Regional. Miami now leading Alabama only 4-3. It was 4-0. Alabama's come back and put a 3 spot on the board. That is top of the 5th. Miami is the visitor in that ballgame. Bottom of 3rd, West Coast, UCLA leading Fresno State 5-1. That's the LA Regional, UCLA hosting that. We move to the top of the 4th in the Oxford Regional. Georgia Tech shutting out Western Kentucky 4-0. Top of the 4th, Eugene Regional out on the West Coast also. Arizona leading Cal Poly 3-0. Bottom of 2nd, they inch a little deeper into the game, Casey. Stetson still leading 7-0 over NC State. I'm with you, man.
They're
Go
doing
Stetson. Go Hatters.
Why not?
And wait a minute. They're going to win. There's a sign. You know what the sign is?
It's hat day.
We talked about the Stetson hat. John Conley.
Oh, we did.
John Conley. We worked in the Stetson hat.
That's honestly unbelievable. To be completely honest with you, that is shocking that both of those things came up.
It's a sign
in a 1 hour and 17-minute program.
Sports show. Yeah, it's a sign.
That is wild. They really should pull it out.
They have to. Come on, Stetson Hatters.
We'll have to relay message that we talked about and see if they'll win for us.
No doubt about it. Okay, we've got a bunch of games that'll start 6 o'clock and later. Let's get through those. We won't go over each one of those, but we do have some finals from earlier today as well. Let's scroll down and go through the finals that we have from college baseball regional starting today. Final, Nashville Regional, Louisville got by ETSU, East Tennessee State. That is a final. Also, final from the Chapel Hill Regional. North Carolina, the host team, playing the first game. They defeat Holy Cross. They shut them out 4-0. UNC is playing good ball. Final, out of the Knoxville Regional, again, we've got an upset. Cincinnati has beaten Wake Forest 11-6. And that same score, 11-6, that was an earlier final out of Conway, the Conway Regional, hosted by Coastal Carolina. East Carolina had no trouble at all. I hate to say it, Gator Nation, absolutely no trouble at all dispatching the Gators today 11-6, a game that was nowhere near that close. East Carolina jumped on Florida in the first inning and never looked back. 11 runs on 15 hits for East Carolina. They did not commit an error. Florida, 6 runs. By the way, they got 4 of their 6 runs in the 8th and 9th innings. It was 9-0 at one point. Florida, 6 runs, 9 hits, a bunch of those after the game was not in doubt. And the Gators committed 2 errors, just did not play real good baseball. But it was, Casey, I watched the whole game basically. It was way more East Carolina playing good baseball and their baseball than Florida giving it to them. Not
sure.
no. East Carolina played their style. They are a scrappy, really, really take advantage of everything, make you throw a lot of pitches. They don't strike out much. They want to stretch the game, and they played to perfection today. Florida now moves on. I'm almost positive noon tomorrow.
Tough situation.
They play noon tomorrow, elimination game, certainly. The other two teams, Coastal, and who do they play? Wow. Drawing a blank on the other team out there.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Central somebody state. But,
somebody you can probably beat.
Yeah. But Florida
Hopefully.
has to turn around. The Gators, if there's any solace, at one point, I can pull this up. At one point, I know Florida had gone through 6 pitchers.
Yeah, they used a lot of guys today.
But I think, and I heard some of the TV guys, and I agree with them, I think that kind of became a plan. Nobody went more than 2 and 2. The last guy of the game, who I don't even know on the Florida staff,
good for that kid.
he went 2 2/3 to finish the game. But they had Liam Peterson had a terrible outing. Couldn't throw a strike. 1 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 of those earned, 1 strikeout, 48 pitches. So McNeely 1 1/3, Rowland went 1 1/3, McDonald went 1, Philpott went 1/3, Rodriguez went 1, and then Monadesco, if I'm pronouncing that right, went 2 2/3. I think it became the plan. Let's just throw a bunch of guys for a little bit, and kind of everybody will at least be able to throw tomorrow and or Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not Peterson. What do you think? I had a discussion with my buddy I was watching the game with. Peterson, Friday, early game, 48. But, I mean, he's a starting pitcher. You get lathered up and, and I don't know if he's come out of the bullpen. Could he go Sunday for not start, but could he give you an inning
yes,
of 2/3?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation. Yeah, definitely. I think if
you probably don't run him out tomorrow for
definitely not.
But you give him a full, 24, 36 hours. I guess in an emergency you could can you give me one? Can you give me 1 1/3?
I mean, and he better be asking too. Yeah,
you would think.
Point blank, if you're still trying to stay in it and move on, your guy better be asking for the ball, and I think they should if they feel confident that today was more of a fluke than a funk that he may or may not be in.
There were a couple of situations where, and this counts. I mean, you beat somebody's butt, you beat somebody's butt. First batter of the game laid down a bunt, and just a really nice bunt.
That's annoying.
And people don't, teams don't defend bunts like they used to. You don't see it a lot.
Mm-mm.
And it kind of surprised Florida a couple times, I thought. They didn't play it great, but the guy lays down a bunt, beats it out. Great bunt, by the way. It wasn't a bad play by anybody, just a great bunt. He takes off to steal second. Donay with a really good throw. Nadeau, the second baseman, miserable tag. Instead of a sweep tag that would have easily hit the hands and even the visual, Nadeau goes to try to tag the runner, head-first slide guy, in the chest area. The guy got his hand in. Terrible tag. And then he comes around. They get a guy on third, same inning, East Carolina does. I don't know if it was, I can't remember if it was a bunt, kind of a safety squeeze, or might have been a swinging bunt. Ball just dribbles in front of the plate. Guy from third is coming home. Peterson, who's still in the game, fields it with his glove, scoops it to Donay in plenty of time. Donay, 6'5", about 250 pounds, has the ball in his mitt and his throwing hand covering it, tags the little guy, and it's a little guy. Ball comes out of his mitt. You're like, one of those days.
One of those days.
One of those days. All right, let's take another break, try to regroup. We're starting to put the landing gear down, a little over 30 minutes left. We'll get back into college baseball, college softball. Braves, the Braves, we'll talk about what happened. Second game, they get a win. Yay! Not so much yay. We'll talk about Major League Baseball on the other side. Wrapping up a Friday edition, about 30 minutes left. Stay with us right here on the Young and Norvelle Show.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so we like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
So we are back here wrapping up 30 minutes left here on the Young and Norvelle Show on a Friday. We were talking a little bit ago about Florida dropping their game today to East Carolina. Gators, it looks like, I think they'll play the loser of the Coastal Carolina Fairfield. That was the other team in that regional. Fairfield, you would think that the host team will beat Fairfield, so it will probably be the Gators at noon tomorrow, I believe it is, in an elimination game with Fairfield. In case you make a good point, that man, if you're Florida, you wouldn't mind seeing some rain in Conway to delay that game, and you get the loser at noon. At least you're already home in the hotel, licking your wounds a little bit. So Fairfield. We're talking about the Braves, Casey. Little bit of good news. They did not get swept. I think, and I know it's very early. If they got swept yesterday, they lost the first game to the Phillies. Had they lost that second game, I know they've got a bunch left still, 100 games left, but man, that would have just been terrible. So the Braves win game 2, but they lose another pitcher. Smith Sharver, the starter, hears something pop, and the last I saw scrolling across the TV midday today, 60-day IL.
It's tough.
Yeah, so it's just...
He's had an interesting go of things.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be so good. He got sent down, came back up, sent back down, came back up this time and shoved.
Yeah.
And has now blown out his arm.
Yeah, blown his arm out, it looks like.
It's unfortunate.
They went in and put him on the 60-day IL, and I guess... Oh, man.
We'll see you in July, hopefully.
Yeah, see you in July. Yeah, and he was their guy down on the farm when they brought him, right? They thought this guy, and
he's still young too.
Yeah, he had a couple of outings late in the year last year where he looked like what they thought he was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
The Braves just can't get out of their own way, and again, the Phillies are good. Just may not be that year, didn't you say? It just just may not be that year for the Braves. So trying to see here what else we want to get to. We talked about the Jags a little bit. Interesting to hear when we get Brent Beard on in a few moments. The SEC meetings are wrapping up and probably have wrapped up by now in Destin. And I thought it was interesting. Speaking of those meetings, a guy that was at the meetings. We don't hear you yet, Pat. We don't hear you yet. So I'm gonna get you fired up that audio. Hey, buddy. Why don't we hear him? You look great. You look great. Do I need to hit something? Do I need to hit a button here?
You don't.
No, I don't. Pat, hit a button or throw your phone. Drop it. Pick it up. Kick it. Kick it. It's always
Don't
good.
kick it.
Technical tap?
Technical tap is actually a really good term.
Pat.
I don't know if that's one that you've coined or you've heard that somewhere.
No, it's a very old term.
Okay, that's good.
The old technical tap, yeah. I think that started years ago when you'd call the IT guy or something and, dang, I'm just banging on the side with your fist.
That's funny.
Works a lot of time. Loose wire in there. The old technical tap, but we lost Pat. Pat's a big wheel, you know. Got invited over to the meetings in Destin. Out of hell with Pat. We got Brent.
It's the technical goblins is what it is.
Yeah,
right?
it is. Hey, Brent, good to have you here on a Friday. Hey, let's jump into something. Old Terry's probably putting the cart before the horse. I kind of thought I liked hearing Coach Greg Sankey. When Greg Sankey made a comment about, maybe the SEC, maybe we don't need the NCAA. Brent, I took that as a positive. I hope that's the precursor to, you know what, SEC and Big Ten, do what you got to do. You know what you've got to do. Go do your own thing. Am I reading too much into that comment?
Oh, no. I think Sankey's smart enough to where he is going to now, what I interpret that is, if you guys don't get on the ball, and we can all get together and get this done. See, there are a couple really important things going on here, Terry. One is they've got a deadline basically before the season starts. That they've got to decide: are we going 8 or are we going 9? And then they've got another situation where by December 1st they've got to decide: are we going 12, 14, or 16?
Yeah.
So these are looming out there. Terry, were you disappointed like I was to this degree? Okay, you've got everybody there. We've talked about this for several months.
Yeah.
Why in the world did we not get more done than we got done this week?
I agree, and I'll guarantee you they got one thing done. They know when they're going to schedule another meeting. You know, hey, let's meet again. Speaking of the meetings, Pat, how you doing, man? Patrick Young, who was at the meetings.
I wasn't. I was around the meetings.
Yeah,
the meetings were around. They were around me. I was just like Pluto, hovering out there.
Did you? I know you had your ear to the stone, though. Did you hear any gossip? Did you hear any rumors, innuendo? True or not, we don't care.
I mean, it's hard for me to. I guess when we, it's this enforcement third party thing that's like I think it's great to have this accounting firm, DeWalt or something like that. I'm messing the name up. That they're going to help us find fair, like a pay scale.
Gotcha.
And to make it make sense. But I'm just confused on how like the enforcement of it. Are we? Yeah. Because employment is not going to happen. That's not. Because I had no idea, and this was I can't remember who said it. Maybe it was Pete Thamel. He was like the presidents, or the ADs or something. They don't agree on a lot of things. It's like, but I've never seen them so all in alignment on employment not happening. They are all in alignment on that. But then I'm like, well, what are going to be the details of these contracts then?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about NFL players. They mostly get fined by, I guess, character things detrimental to the team.
Sure.
Like how are we going to get players to pay back contracts? Like, I think there's going to be scenarios that happen. I don't think they're going to be able to cover all bases.
You know, one thing that I think could supersede those athletic directors that are adamant about not turning these players into employees, the government could supersede. Don't forget now, individuals individuals in our country have employment rights. Right? It'll be interesting to see how that played out. Pat, hope we get you back because I want to talk to you and Brent as well. We've led off the show today. What a miserable performance by Florida baseball. I mean, East Carolina imposed their style of play. They were impressive. And Florida looked like, now the guy pitched real well. Don't get me wrong, but my goodness, that was a pillow fight. Really not a great performance effort-wise, I didn't think, by Gator baseball. And you can almost say, what a bad performance by Gator softball. They laid 2 eggs, I think, softball and baseball the last 2 days.
Yeah, they really did. And you made the point earlier in the week. People may not realize the East Carolinas of the world are pretty good.
They play good baseball. They've been to a bunch of regionals. Good coach.
There's a reason they're there, right?
Oh yeah, and they've been there 25 times in their history. I mean, they're good. They play a different style. They play some old school, and I knew this. They're a hit to contact. They don't get struck out much. They work long counts. They make your pitcher throw. They do this thing that you have to defend called the bunt. It's an old term that nobody knows about anymore. The bunt. They take the extra base. If they're on base, they take secondary leads. If you throw it in the dirt, they make you throw them out. You know. A bad situation. We've talked a lot about it, so we won't stay on it. Brent, your notes got me so excited. They always do. But your leadoff note today, you highlighted college football. Week number 3, September 13th. Brent Beard, are you serious about this lineup?
Do you remember?
Woo!
Look, we've been doing this a long time, since the early mid-'90s. Do you remember ever a week 3 that has that many important games this early in the season?
Let's hit the big ones. We won't hit them all. There's quite a few here, but I mean there are. How about week 3, September 13th, kicking things off at high noon, Wisconsin at Alabama. That gets us started, okay? And we won't do them all, but that'll lead us right into 3:30, Georgia at Tennessee.
Yeah, and listen, that's a November game being played in September.
Absolutely it is. So that's 3:30. And again, there's a bunch of other games. I won't go over them. How about that 3:30 game will hand deliver us to the 7:30 time slot? Florida at LSU has been announced time-wise. Night game. Gators at night in LSU. Now, this is all the same weekend now. We'll be channel surfing because also at 7:30, Texas A&M is at Notre Dame. That gets us to, and this is a juicy SEC game that the winner looks up and goes, we may have a big season. How about Arkansas at Ole Miss?
Yes.
Is also a night game. And then also a night game on September 13th. The two underdog darlings of the SEC last year.
Yes.
How good is Vanderbilt at South Carolina?
That's Diego against Lenore Sellers.
My goodness. How about that Saturday?
That is just incredible. And people, I'm sure, are probably aware for a lot of these teams, this is their SEC opener. It is now. Now, I know you well enough to where you saw this and your eyebrows raised. Did you see that this wasn't a misprint? Oklahoma at Temple.
Yeah, how about that? Seems like every year we're having one of those. Why is Texas A&M going to Louisiana Tech or something like that? Yeah, yeah. How about that?
I think this is probably one of those 2-for-1s. Now, I tell you what's different about this game. They're playing this game where the Eagles play.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. It's venue for that one. But the point here is this, Terry. you can almost make the argument week 3 is better than Labor Day weekend in some ways.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I would agree. My biggest issue with Labor Day weekend is the Monday night, Labor Day night game is a buzzkill.
Mm-hmm. It is, isn't it?
I mean, after 10 minutes of looking at Bill Belichick on the sideline,
right?
What's the game going to do for me?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they did a nice job adding a second Sunday Labor Day weekend game, right? And then when that's over, we got to wait really for the next week. That game doesn't do anything for me. Am I the minority?
No, I don't think you are. And listen, let me throw this at you. A&M at Notre Dame. Does anybody need to win a game like this any more than A&M does?
Ooh, now or never, right? I mean, A&M. Because Elko took over some talent there.
Oh, yes. Yes. And Elko really made it very clear that their defense has got to be better. And as you saw from last year, what is Notre Dame's forte, and it's their defense.
It really is. It really is. Non-sports question, state of Alabama question. Tommy Tuberville has announced he's going to run for governor. Does he have a chance? He's a senator there.
Not only does he have a chance right now, he's in their slow vote or whatever it is. He's the front runner.
Yeah, now, and a lot of people may not know. Yes, that Tommy Tuberville, was a really good coach, really good football coach, really good for the game. I mean, he's one of the senators from Alabama. He's a senator.
Yes,
he got into politics a decade ago, and I mean, he's a player in Washington D.C. But he's going to give up his seat and run for the governor. And so you think he's got a real shot, right? I mean,
he does. He's very popular. I mean, he's right in sync with President Trump. Very conservative. Now, see, the big issue there is he has a house in Auburn and he has a residence in Florida. So what the Democrats are trying to do, and I'm not being politically, I'm just telling you the truth. What they're trying to do is they're trying to trip him up on having this residence in Florida, meaning that is that his real residence instead of the residence in Alabama. But you're right on. Yes, I heard that today. He has made it official, Terry.
It's official,
as you said.
And he's a smart guy. I've always liked him. He was a good coach. He was a good football coach. He had success everywhere he went. But I always thought he was a smart guy. And he got into politics, and I could see, he's a senator, and man, you got to spend a lot of time in D.C. I mean, a lot of time, a lot of travel. I could see where being the governor of a state, I could trade in my senator seat for the governor's mansion in the state.
Absolutely.
Just probably a little more quality of life. I mean, those senators, man, they're on the go, man.
They are. Listen, if people haven't heard this, I want to bring this up too. I think this is the greatest thing that happened this week, is that the College Football Hall of Fame agreed that they're going to lower their percentage of coaches winning from 60 to 59 to allow Mike Leach into the College Football Hall of Fame. And look, here's the deal with Leach. Leach reminds me somewhat of Spurrier.
Oh, very much. A lot of people said that.
And here's the thing. Here's my point with Spurrier. Spurrier was a change agent, okay?
Yeah.
Spurrier came into a league that was 3 yards in a cloud of dust and threw the ball all over the place and won championships. Now, Leach did not win a lot of championships, but what Leach did in that air raid is he's got a lot of disciples.
Yeah.
He has got a tremendous offensive philosophy, but Terry, Leach made the game better.
Absolutely.
Leach was one of these great personalities that deserved to be in the Hall of Fame for what he did for people and how he made them laugh. And I mean, he was quirky and the whole 9 yards, but people will tell you he was such a breath of fresh air, and he deserves to be in.
lot of comparisons over the years by a lot of people, Coach Spurrier and Coach Mike Leach. Yeah, very. They both had a lot of Frank Sinatra in them. I did it my way. You know, they would do it their way. You know, and both quirky. Quirky's a good word. Both quirky. Both very, very innovative. Brent, we've got some time. I want to bring up another topic. I know you've got a few more. I can't remember. Who's the AD at Texas? I can't think of his name.
Conte. Del Conte. Yeah.
Del Conte. He came out at the meetings and he was pretty forthright. I don't know if you saw it. He was asked about what it looks like going to be the $20 million athletic salary cap.
Yeah.
And he came out and said when questioned about it, he basically said, we, Texas, our athletic department, we've been working on it, and he said we've pretty much got our numeric plan, and I think this is a pretty good model. I don't know if you heard what he said. He said, okay, and we're just using 20 million, maybe 20.5. We'll just round it. He said it looks like we, Texas, we're gonna earmark 15 million for football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He said 3 million for men's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
He said and that gets you to 18 million. 1 million women's basketball and 1 million all other sports.
Right.
Now, there's still a lot of, before you go, what about all other sports? That's terrible. Well, they don't bring in any money. They actually cost you money.
Correct.
But in $1 million, there still a lot of $20,000 salaries, $25,000. There's a lot of salaries in there for that.
Sure
but I thought that model, 15 million. So for football, and that has a big roster. Basketball, 3 million, but you're only dealing with 12 players, right? Brent, and then much like the NFL, you got to be frugal with your dollars. If you earmark 15 million for football, do you think you're better off going and trying to get 5 guys five big guys that you pay 2 million each to? Or are you better off getting 3 good guys? There's still some, like the NFL, you better have a good salary cap department.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Lord, yes.
I kind of like that model. What do you think of that model, the Texas?
That's an interesting model, and whether they admit it or not, I think some of the schools are doing something similar. Let me tell you the surprise that came out of Destin that I don't think the people were waiting for and didn't think would happen is it's the model. This one they call the 5+11.
Yeah.
Took people by surprise, and frankly, they actually like this even more, and this surprised me a little bit than the 4-4-2-2-1.
Yeah.
And okay,
it did surprise me. I agree.
And we discussed this the other day, and for the some of the SEC folks don't like this, but the point you and I brought out with this was, if you've got a 5-11, and again, 5 would be your main 4, basically their champion, and then you got 11 at-larges.
Yeah.
Well, if your conference is having a really good year, which the SEC and the Big Ten usually do, what you may have out of that is, instead of sticking with your guns to this 4-4-2-2-1, Terry, instead of being guaranteed 4 teams, if you're the SEC, what would keep you from having 6?
Yeah, your fifth highest ranked team is ranked 11th in the country. You're like, well, why don't we get all 5 of them in, all 6 of them in? Yeah, that is obviously the motivation for the Big Ten and the SEC. And if the Big Ten will probably come along if the SEC really wants that. And the Big Ten, you could easily have a year where instead of 4-4 Big Ten SEC, you have 5-5 or 6-6. If you had 6-6, I mean, then you still have a few bids to give out on the back end. But you know where I'm at, though. I wish we could get away from committees. I do wish we could get away.
I agree with that. Yeah. But and I think now the other stuff that is your shiny objects, the 9 conference games, and particularly the play-in games on Championship Saturday, the coaches are pushing back particularly at the play-in games. And again, if folks have missed this, what we're talking about is on Championship Saturday, the top 2 teams will play for the championship game. And then you've got your 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th seeds that would have 2 games. 3 would play 6, 4 would play 5 in order to get in the playoffs. The coaches are pushing back on that because it's like we said the other day, could that be too many games?
Yeah, I agree. So it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to see how this works out. It really will.
And I know we're getting short time, but the big deal too is what are they going to decide on 8 or 9? But Terry, again, away from Destin, away from the media, they really have got to make some definitive decisions on these 2 things. I think in the next month or 2, really, they ought to have a goal to get this done, Terry, before SEC Media Days in the middle of July.
I agree. I totally agree. I want to go back to the something that Casey, I think it was, brought up. I thought it was a really good point earlier in the week on the proposed $20 million salary cap allocation to sports. I think it was Casey that brought this up. What if you're a program, even if you're a Power 4 program, and you may, when it comes to allocating, that 15 for football and 3 for men's basketball.
Right.
What if you're a program, maybe Vanderbilt, and you say, well, you know what? Us really winning a football national championship is kind of a pie in the sky. And Casey, I think Casey brought this up. Mm-hmm. Maybe you say, why don't we allocate $10 million to basketball?
Yes.
It might be a lot easier to win in basketball. We're not going to shun football, but you know what? Why put all of our eggs in a football basket? We're Vanderbilt or we're NC State.
Yeah.
Casey, were you the one that brought that up earlier this week?
I was.
Yeah. Am I hitting what you were kind of theorizing?
That is correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Brent. I thought that was a very, very good point. I don't think they're going to have a gun to your head and say you have to put 75% to football. What if you're Vanderbilt or NC State? You go, hell, it's easier to win in basketball.
Terry, I'll go a step further. And by the way, you always have the smartest producers. By the way,
thank you.
We
need them. We need them.
That's pretty good. Look, if you're Vanderbilt, I would go a step further and allocate a decent amount of money for baseball.
Yeah,
because they've won one recently, and as long as Corbin stays there, and look, could you argue right now they're easily one of the hottest teams in the SEC?
I agree, and to further your point there, those baseball cathedrals that are all being built, I don't see them getting any smaller. No. I see them continuously getting bigger. I mean, hell, look at the crowd that's going to show up in Omaha. You and I have watched that thing from Johnny Rosenblatt Stadium, and they would put 14,000, and they expanded it, and then they moved to the new the College World Series. There's 25 to 30,000 in that stadium.
Yeah. Well, let's be realistic here. If you're Vanderbilt, to your point and to Casey's point, I mean, for football, Terry, the best you can really do is what they did last year.
Yeah.
Which is basically be 7-6 type thing, and go to a bowl game. But you're right. In basketball and baseball, I mean, you're going to be in the postseason tournaments.
Yeah.
With the chance to be a Sweet 16.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or even whether you win or not, to be able to make a dome hall. Absolutely.
The good thing when I get on other shows, when I guest on other shows, Casey's not listening. I'm going to steal the hell out of that. Just steal the hell out of that idea. It's a good one. It's a good one. And if you're NC State, you might want to really think about that.
Oh yeah. Well, particularly with bringing Will Wade in basketball, because you're going to be better.
Yeah. Good stuff, Brent. Real good stuff. We long way back when you lose the first game in the softball double elimination and really baseball. Georgia was winning big. Florida State was still in a delay. It looks like thunder and lightning over there. Yeah. Gators at noon tomorrow, I think, in elimination baseball. Gators in elimination softball tonight. Brent, we've got 10 seconds. Did you see the heartbreak Tennessee softball suffered at Oklahoma, the hands of Oklahoma? Walk-off 3-run, 2-strike, 2-out home run. Ooh.
Well, how do you describe that, Terry?
Oh, that a punch in the guts, how you describe it. All right, Brent, have a good, safe week. We'll visit on Monday. We'll have a lot to talk about.
And hopefully a magazine, too.
Hopefully a magazine, too. That'd be great. He is Brent Beard. Thanks so much for everything you do with our show. That'll wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed bringing it to you all week. We'll get together after this long, busy weekend. We'll get together Monday, 4 o'clock, for the next edition of the Young and Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh,